Hello and welcome to Pigeon Lectures. The event we'll be talking about today has been a large source of debate, with some citing it as irrefutable evidence that extraterrestrials have visited Earth, whereas others view the event as a carefully crafted hoax. Today we'll be looking at the Ilkley Moor abduction, examining both sides of the argument to find out whether this was a hoax or really truthful. The Ilkley Moor is located in between Cattley and the town of Ilkley in West Yorkshire, England, known for its variety of birds, hiking trail, gorgeous views and carved rocks which date back to the Bronze Age. Phil Spencer, a retired police officer, had moved from London to West Yorkshire to be close to his wife's family. On a cold morning of the 1st of December 1987, Spencer began walking across Ilkley Moor to his father-in-law's house, equipped with a compass in case of fog, and a camera as he liked to take pictures of the scenery as he's walked his route before. As he was making his way across the foggy mountainous moorland, he eventually noticed a strange figure in the distance, which he described as having an oversized head, long arms. The creature apparently reminded him of a monkey in socks. This creature apparently made a gesture towards Spencer. He managed to take a picture of the figure using his camera, after which it ran off, with Spencer attempting to follow it but losing it in the fog. But he saw a strange domed object in the sky, whitish in colour and made up of two saucer-shaped parts, one on top of each other, which emitted a loud hum. Unfortunately, Spencer was in too much shock to get a picture of the object. Still shocked after his encounter, which only lasted a few minutes, Spencer continued to his father-in-law's house. When he arrived at the town, he noticed two odd occurrences, one being that his compass was broken, pointing in the opposite direction, displaying south, not north. In addition to this, the clock in the town showed 10 a.m, whereas Spencer should have arrived at 8 a.m, being unable to account for the two missing hours. Believing that he had been a possible victim of an alien abduction, the following days after his encounter, Spencer contacted UFO investigator Peter Hoof. Peter was initially extremely skeptical of Spencer, but later came to believe he was being truthful. After meeting with Spencer in person, Peter began to investigate Spencer's account, examining the area where he alleged it took place, as well as sending the photo he took to be examined. The photo was sent to a number of experts, one being a wildlife photographer who could not identify the creature. It was also sent to be examined by experts at the Kodat laboratory to check for any tampering. After running a number of tests, they couldn't find any evidence that the photo had been tampered or altered, believing it to be a genuine picture. As well, the picture was sent to Dr. Bruce Maccabee, a US Navy optics expert who also had an interest in UFOs. He concluded that the use of the slow shutter speed used for low light conditions made the picture too grainy for proper testing. He was apparently very disappointed that this wasn't the evidence he had been looking for alien life. Peter also had the compass that Spencer had with him during the encounter, which now pointed in the opposite direction, as well as the scene where the encounter took place, were both examined by a local university, with both showing no signs of radiation. However, they were able to confirm that the compass had its polarity reversed, meaning it came in close contact with something that gave off a strong magnetic field. While all these objects are being examined, Spencer began having strange dreams. Following Peter's advice, he agreed to undergo regressive hypnotherapy on the 16th of March 1988. This is a form of hypnosis which aims to help the patient to recover buried memories. Under this hypnosis, Spencer's account about his encounter changed. He now recalled that when he spotted the creature, he was paralyzed, being unable to move. Then he was lifted off the ground into the craft which he saw, where he blacked out. He eventually woke up in the craft where he heard a voice in his head telling him to stay calm. A group of green aliens apparently performed medical procedures on him, inserting items into his nose and mouth. After this, they gave him a tour of the ship and showed him 2 films. One which was a warning to humans that if we continued on our path of destruction of the planet, it would result in a world full of famine, floods, pollution, and nuclear war. The second film still remains a mystery, as Spencer refused to comment on the contents, even under hypnosis, and to this day he will not give up the details, as humanity is not supposed to know what is in the film, and it's for his eyes only. After this, the aliens asked Spencer if he understood what he had showed him. Answering with a nod, he blacked out again, finding himself back on Ilkley Moor, where then he took the infamous photo of the creature. Apparently the gesture that the alien made to him was actually the alien waving goodbye. Jim Singleton, who carried out the hypnosis, called Spencer's account a genuine recall. Now, I know all this has been a lot to take in, especially the hypnotist, as Spencer's story is quite wacky. So, is it truthful? Spencer isn't the only one to witness strange things on Ilkley Moors, as there are a large number of reports of strange sightings on the Ilkley Moors, but this has largely been contributed to the presence of the nearby Leeds Bradford Airport and the Menwith Hill Air Force Base. But what about William's story? Are there any holes to it, and could it just be an elaborate hoax? Well, first, the compass. While it's true it had its polarity reversed, this could easily be done by a number of household objects, so this aspect of the story could easily be faked. What about the picture? Well, as said previously, it's been disputed by different experts, some saying it's genuine, others saying it's too grainy for proper analysis. Looking at the picture, it's very hard to make out what exactly is standing there due to the low quality of the image. Some have said that the odd way the figure is standing makes it look like it's a mannequin being propped up, or that it could just be a bush or a hedge. However, an independent investigator years later found the exact spot where the picture was taken and confirmed that there was indeed no hedge or bush, ruling out that explanation. Really, it comes down to your personal opinion whether you trust Spencer about the authenticity of the photo. Attention has also been drawn to the account Spencer gave under hypnosis, remarking about how absurd the story is, and why would they show the warning about humanity's future to a simple policeman who has no power to change any of it? But if they really were extraterrestrials, who is to say how they would think and act and what their thought process is? But what about Spencer? As accusations being made that this is all a carefully crafted hoax with the goal of gaining fame and money, but that really doesn't seem to be the case, as Spencer seems to be a genuine individual who really believes this all took place. As Spencer isn't even his real name, it's a pseudonym to hide his real name, which to this day is unknown. He wanted to do anything he could to hide his identity to avoid drawing attention to himself. He also made no money from his story. He even went as far to give Peter, the UFO investigator, the copyrights to the picture he took. You can argue that Spencer, whatever his name may be, may have misidentified something, but I don't think you can argue he was lying, as why would he spend all this time crafting a hoax just to get nothing out of it? What would be the point? The truth of what happened on that day really boils down to whether you believe Spencer was lying, misidentified, or was completely honest, as the story can't be proven or disproven. When I was researching this, I found the story very hard to believe, but after finding out the extent Spencer went not to make money and to hide his identity, it changed my view of it. But I'm pretty sure Spencer, of whatever you may think, was telling the truth of what he thought happened, whether that was wrong or not. He seems to be very truthful.